The reason you keep meeting the wrong women has nothing to do with your age, your looks, or your personality. It's because you're fishing in toxic ponds and wondering why every catch is poisonous. There are 5 specific places where high quality women gather in abundance, and most men over 60 have no idea these gold mines even exist. I'm Dr. Avery, and look, I know half of you clicked on this video just to tell me you're not interested in relationships anymore. You value your freedom. You've been burned. You're done with the drama. And honestly, I respect that completely. But here's what I also know. You don't hate women. You hate what happened with the wrong women. And those wrong women, you met them in all the wrong places. Dating apps filled with filters and fake profiles. Bars where desperation hangs in the air. Social circles that recycle the same exhausting dynamics. What if I told you there are places where the ratio is heavily in your favor, where women actually outnumber men, sometimes 3 to 1, and where the quality of woman is completely different from what you've been encountering? Whether you want friendship, companionship, or something more, these places exist, and they're hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the most overlooked gold mine: volunteering and nonprofit organizations. Here's what the data shows. Women make up approximately 61% of volunteers in the US, and in the 55-plus age bracket, that percentage climbs even higher. We're talking food banks, animal shelters, community gardens, literacy programs, environmental groups. Now, here's why this matters. Because you're meeting women who are actively trying to contribute something meaningful. They're not sitting home complaining about life. They're out there doing something about it. That automatically filters for character, purpose, and engagement with the world. And here's the beautiful part. You're working side by side toward a common goal. You're not sitting across a table making awkward small talk while trying to impress each other. You're building, helping, creating together. Conversations flow naturally. You see how someone handles stress, treats others, and shows up consistently. You're getting the real person, not the performance. Plus, you instantly have shared values and interests to build on. You're not starting from scratch trying to find common ground. Now, if volunteering isn't your style or you want something with even deeper connection potential, let me show you the second place: faith communities, services, study groups, choir, service committees. Now, before you skip past this because you're not religious, hear me out. Even if you're not deeply devout, most faith communities welcome people who are exploring, questioning, or just seeking connection. The statistics are striking. Women significantly outnumber men in almost every religious denomination in the US. In some churches, synagogues, and temples, women make up 60 to 65% of active participants. That's a massive advantage right there. But beyond the numbers, think about what you're getting. Women who value community, commitment, and something beyond themselves. Women who show up consistently, who participate in group activities, who are comfortable in social settings. And these communities naturally create opportunities for interaction. Coffee after services, volunteer projects, discussion groups, social events. You're meeting women through shared meaning, not shared desperation. That's a completely different foundation. But what if you want to combine meeting quality women with actually living an interesting life? That brings me to the third place: small group travel and solo-friendly tours. This is where it gets really interesting. The solo travel industry is dominated by women, especially women over 50. Travel companies that cater to solo travelers report that 75 to 80% of their bookings are women. Let that sink in. These are curated group experiences, wine country tours, cultural trips, adventure travel, wellness retreats, learning vacations. You're spending days or weeks with a small group of people, sharing experiences, meals, and downtime. The pressure is off because you're there for the destination and the experience. Meeting people is the bonus, not the mission. And think about what kind of woman signs up for solo travel. She's independent, curious, adventurous, financially secure enough to invest in experiences. She's not sitting around waiting for life to happen. She's actively creating a life she wants to live. You're also seeing people at their most authentic. Traveling strips away pretense fast. You find out who someone really is when plans change, when things go wrong, when they're tired or frustrated. It's an accelerated way to gauge compatibility. Now, before I give you the last two places, have you found a partner, companion, or meaningful connection in any of these places I've mentioned so far? Maybe volunteering led somewhere unexpected, or you met someone through your church, or travel opened a door you didn't see coming. Drop a comment and share your story, because real experiences help other men see what's actually possible. And if you're loving this video so far and want more strategies like this, hit that subscribe button and notification bell right now. All right, the fourth place might surprise you because most men overlook it entirely. Book clubs, author events, and libraries. Women make up roughly 70 to 75% of book club participants, and adult fiction readers skew heavily female overall. Book clubs, especially those focused on specific genres or themes, create built-in conversation and connection. The genius of this setting is that you're discussing ideas, perspectives, and stories. You're engaging minds, not just making small talk about the weather. You get to see how someone thinks, what moves them, what they value, and how they interpret the world. That's incredibly revealing. Library events, author talks, discussion panels, writing workshops draw the same demographic. Women who read regularly tend to be more empathetic, better communicators, and more interested in understanding different perspectives. Those are valuable qualities in any companion, whether friend or partner. And here's a practical advantage. These events are low pressure, usually free or inexpensive, and happen regularly. You can test the waters without major commitment. Now, if you want a place where the numbers are ridiculously in your favor and you can see immediate results, here's the fifth place: yoga, Pilates, and gentle fitness classes, including chair yoga and senior-specific programs. The gender ratio in yoga classes alone is roughly 72% female. In gentler, age-appropriate fitness classes, that percentage can climb even higher. You walk into one of these classes as one of maybe 2 or 3 men in a room of 15 to 20 women. The math is working for you before you even introduce yourself. But beyond the numbers, think about who you're meeting. Women who prioritize their health, who are investing in mobility and vitality, who are actively working against decline. Women who are comfortable in their bodies, who value wellness, who are willing to show up and do the work. And fitness classes create natural social time before and after. People chat, they grab coffee or smoothies, they compare notes on other classes or instructors. You're building familiarity and comfort over repeated interactions, which is how genuine connection actually forms. And here's a bonus place that combines everything: partner dance classes and socials, ballroom, salsa, swing, line dancing. The participation in these is overwhelmingly female, often running 60 to 70% women. And partner dancing creates immediate, appropriate physical connection and eye contact. You're literally practicing connection while learning a skill together. Now listen, and this is crucial. None of these places are casual dating buffets where you just show up and women fall into your lap. That's not how this works. These are environments rich with potential, but you still need to be worth meeting. You need to show up as someone who has his life together. Someone who's independent, engaged with the world, pursuing his own interests, not desperate for validation or drowning in neediness. Women can smell desperation from across the room, and it repels them faster than anything else. The advantage of these places is that they give you repeated natural exposure. You're not walking up cold to strangers. You're building familiarity, demonstrating your character through action, showing who you are over time. That's infinitely more powerful than any pickup line or dating profile. But here's what most men miss. You have to bring something worth attracting. Confidence without arrogance. Engagement without neediness. Humor without try-hard desperation. Presence without invasion. If you don't have that natural magnetism, you can stand in a room full of available women and still leave alone. That's why I created the attraction checklist. It's a straightforward assessment that tells you exactly where you stand and what you need to adjust to become naturally magnetic to quality women. Because positioning yourself in the right place is only half the equation. Being someone worth connecting with is the other half. The link to get that checklist is in the description and pinned in the comments. Remember, none of this matters if you show up as a needy, desperate version of yourself. You need to be the kind of man women naturally gravitate toward. That attraction checklist I mentioned will show you exactly where you stand and what needs adjusting. Grab it from the link in the description. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications on because I share videos like this that help make your life after 60 fun, fulfilled, and happy. Remember, your best connections aren't behind you, they're waiting in places you haven't thought to look yet. And that changes today. Go position yourself where opportunity lives and watch what happens when you finally show up in the right rooms. I'm Dr. Avery, and I'll see you in the next one.